Hey guys, welcome to Raceface TCR Season 2 Round 4 here at Okayama. We're about to go on to our quickest lap from quali. So coming through the last corner, you want to brake early, get on the power early, use all the track here. And then you've got to be really brave on the brakes here into turn 1. So we're going to brake just as the braking line starts just there. Get it down into second, get it rotated and try and get on throttle as early as possible. Then coming through here, there's always like a lot of understeer, so we're using the brakes to rotate the car with just a little bit of understeer. We just about get it through there nicely, minimize the distance through here, and then again kind of brake as late as you dare into here. Really important to carry minimum speed and get a good exit. The really long straight that follows, pretty tidy through there. And then we wait an eternity as we go down the straight. Okay, so now we're looking for our braking marker, which is just after the 100-meter board. Down the brakes hard into first gear. Again, we want to get a really good exit early on throttle. Really tricky double right here. Again, trying to get loads of rotation early on the throttle. And then just a little bit of brakes to get it turned in. And then on the throttle on apex. And then another really tricky sort of more of an S-bend than a chicane, but we're going to come down into first gear to get rotation, and then early on the throttle back down to first, rotate it, get on power as early as we can, and then coming into the last sector we just want to lift to get it onto the curb, and then early on the throttle and it's going to be across the line in a time of 1:39.236 if I can recall correctly. But yeah, that was that. So on to race 1 now. We managed to qualify in P8, which is in this field for me quite a good qualifying session. So the lights are about to go on. I'm going to use quite a bit of offboard just to try and sort of tell the story of the race a little bit better.
I think that'll help you though.
We have 4 red lights and away we go. Timothy gets a much better start than us. Herman was actually trying to come up around our outside. But we get a good turn 1 and we're starting to catch, and Timothy has to brake with the traffic ahead, so we've managed to get right back under his bumper. We know going into the hairpin there's going to be a little bit of a chance, so we managed to get alongside. We go quite early. It's a little bit of a send. I missed the apex by a mile, but I think that was my corner. I think I was definitely past the B pillar at the apex. So now we're gonna have to defend going into the hairpin. It's gonna have a long time to sit in our toe before we able to get into the brakes. We're gonna try and hold the middle of the track and compromise them a little bit, and then dive in for the apex as late as we dare. But we managed to get that done nice and clean. So now we're up to P7, but we are in close attendance with some really quick guys. So the 3 immediately in front are Chase, Harold, Willem Buerta and Luke Lucchese, all really quick. But yeah, like I think the goal here is just to try to stay in touch and just sort of see what happens. But honestly, if I'd finished in P7 I'd been really happy with that result. So yeah, let's just kind of see how this unfolds. You can already see that the 3 in front are already starting to battle quite hard, which is good for us because it'll keep us nice and tight, nice and close. But yeah, going on to lap 2 now. It's just sort of, at this point I'm just trying to like sort of drive my race and just see how it all kind of unfolds. But I know with Chase here going for a move on Willem, it's just going to help me stay a little bit closer. Get a little snap on entry there, but we managed to gather it up okay. Very close now. And now we're actually right under Chase's bumper, so we can follow him through on Willem here, and then we can see if we can get a move done ourselves going into the hairpin. But we've pretty much passed Willem already. Chase is holding that left hand side, we're holding that inside. We brake as late as we can, leave just enough space.
Oh yes, please.
And we're through. And it's a really good move for me. He's a fast driver, but he comes straight back at us. And he hits us, pushes us a little bit off track, but I think that's more like sort of a rubbing is racing kind of incident than anything else. We get a big slide, we managed to save it quite nicely. But now Timothy's up our inside into the hairpin. We're gonna have the inside for the next corner, nice and tight on the apex, and we managed to defend from Tim. So as we go, this is going to be a busy one. The guys are really battling up front. It was actually quite something to watch. So yeah, big shout out to those three for the hard fair racing that they did for the whole race. It was really cool. Okay, so we're moving on now to lap 9. And we've managed to the laps before nothing really happened. We were pretty much just sort of sitting half a second, 0.8 of a second behind, but we've managed to claw our way back now, and we are very much back in this battle for P4 going into the last 3 laps of the race. Get a big moment of understeer here. This is just going to let the 3 in front get away, but also it's going to allow Timothy to come back into contention to race me for P7. So now my mindset is to keep it tight, to get more understeer through the hairpin. So like at this point the front tires are really going. Front grip is a real problem. You can see now that Tim is right under my bumper, and I'm expecting him to go for a move into the hairpin, so I'm going to hold the inside more to the middle inside part of the track to make it difficult for him. We're on the brakes, get into the apex, and we managed to defend once more. He's going to have a little look on the inside on the double left, but it is quite a sketchy move to make, so he backs out of it thankfully. But now running up the hill, he's going to have another chance coming into the little S-bend complex. He has a little look, but nothing doing in this occasion. The 3 in front are really fighting, so we've really got a 5-car battle now, which is really awesome. We're sort of in the back part of the race, and we got 5 cars kind of battling for P4, which is awesome for the racing and for the series and for South African sim racing. It's really cool to see. So now we're going on to the penultimate lap of the race, and really, I mean, I don't think I have the pace to beat these 3 in front on pace, but with the battling coming to the end of the race, some lunges are going to happen. There is a championship points sort of consideration, where these 3 guys are quite close in the standings. I'm pretty confident to get loads of understeer, but I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to pick up pieces. I'm pretty confident there's going to be a lunge somewhere. So yeah, into the hairpin, actually get it in quite nicely on this occasion, get a decent exit, and yeah, we're just going to try and get back into that space. Kind of will be close enough to take advantage if something does go off. So yeah, we're just defending from Tim. He's right under a bumper again. He's going to go around the outside. We defend, this time not quite making the apex, but I think that was all like sort of fine and clear. And now going into the end of sector 2, we're going to run up the hill now. These 3 are really close, so either this lap or next lap, I'm pretty sure something's going to happen. So I'm having a little look into the hairpin again, and there's contact, and it's happened, and all 3 of them come together. We go around the outside, we hold the space, we manage to get past 1, past 2. We're now side by side with Chase and Luke. I'm going to go around the outside, contact from Luke, he pushes us a little bit wide, we get back on track. Now Willem is back, he's right under our bumper, and we are running away down the straight into turn 1. We're going to get past Luke, but Willem is coming back at us, and it's going to be difficult. Chase starts to squeeze it just a little bit. We attack to defend, we have the apex, we have the line, we are past Luke, and we manage to defend from Willem, but this next lap is going to be crazy difficult to manage. So A little bit of a snap from Willem gives us a little bit of breathing room, so now we chasing Chase. We need to stay close to him to stay in his toe if we're going to have any chance towards the end of the race. Decent exit again through here, not too bad. We're close enough just to maintain a little bit of toe from Chase ahead, up to P5 of course, which is a really good result, by far my best result of the season so far. So if I can hold on to this, I'll be really happy with that. Into the braking zone, close up on Chase to get out of the throttle just a wee bit, or just delays just slightly in through the double left hand section, relatively tightly through here. But Willem is right under a bumper again, and he's gonna have a go definitely into the hairpin. So we hold the line. He's gonna have a go. We're gonna have to leave him the space. He's gonna come up around our outside. Once again we have the inside, and again we managed to defend. But now into turn 1, into the hairpins, there's definitely going to be a move coming. He's really close. So under braking into the last turn, he's literally bump drafting me down the straight. We hold this line just a little bit. We want to squeeze him just on the outside, so we can maintain as much of the preferred line as possible. We are a little bit ahead, so he does go around the outside. We get a little bit of snap. We lose a rear just a touch around turn 1, but we managed to defend again. Now we're on the last lap, so all we need to do is protect against this next right-hander coming up and the hairpin after that, and we should be home and hosed.
Maintain front temperature, that's what you need to do. Maintain front.
He's very close. We don't get a great exit, but I think we compromise his exit as well, so that's going to help us coming down this long run. We're going to take the defensive line straight away going into the hairpin, and the send is coming for absolute sure. Under braking now, and stands and hits Luke, who goes barreling into Willem, and that's allowed us to secure this little P5. All we need to do now is keep the car on the island as we get to the line, and we've done it, and it's a really good result. Really happy with that. So just one sector to go to claim my first top 10 and my first top 5 of the season. Just need to negotiate 2 more turns, and around the last turn we go. And that is P5. It was an unbelievable race to drive in.
Boys, come on. Let's go, boys. Awesome job. Alex, well done. Awesome job.
Huge credit to the 3 guys in front, and for the most part to Tim behind. I think the 5-6 of us that were engaged in this big battle for P4 all drove superbly well. It was so much fun to be a part of, but then also for me, you know, being able to test myself against these guys that are definitely faster than me, but also more experienced. A lot of them chase races in VW Challenge. Luke's got a karting background. I'm not too sure about Willem, but these guys have got a lot of racing experience that I don't have, a lot of racing fundamentals that I never got. So it was really cool to be able to, I mean, not that I passed them on pace. I got a move done on Chase, but he got me straight back. But at the end there, to be able to defend from Willem in the way that I did was super. I was really happy. I was really impressed with that. So yeah, that's race 1, and we are gonna move swiftly along to race 2. So I didn't get any other qualifying. There was no points except there's one little bit. Had a big send on Herman in quali here, and yeah, I just had to keep it in. It was a proper send a Jeff kind of move. So coming into turn 1, we're going to pull out of the toe. We're going to take that inside, lay it on the brakes, down to second gear, keep it on the apex, and we made the move. So quali 2 was a P7. It was only literally, I think it was like 500ths or something ahead of Tim behind. So yeah, then the strange thing was that for some reason race 2 ended up being a rolling start. which obviously we normally have standing starts. I think it's just like a slight misconfiguration in the server, but it just adds a little bit of a different dynamic to to the race start, and that whole kind of sequence. A little snap on the through the corner there. Had to gather the car up, so it was a bit of a sketchy moment just before we get started. But now we're gonna come around the corner and form up again, as we prepare to take the start of race 2. Just trying to keep my concentration on Peter Yubera ahead, to try and trigger the start. And we don't get a great one. We missed the jump, and Tim's absolutely killed us off the start. But once again, we have the inside line. I think he could have probably cut me off and he would have had the better line, but because of that, I'm able to get back alongside him through turn 1, and going in through turn 2, 3, he's still right next to us. I don't unfortunately have off board because I got caught by load shedding at the end of the race, but you can see there, he's right next to me through turn 3, and we're going into the hairpin. I think I've got the move done. He hits us and we're around. Unfortunately, we smash into the barrier. So this off board shot from the actual stream, you can just see he just tags us as we go through, as he's rejoining. There was like a little bit of a net code between the two of us, and he was rejoining, and that was unfortunately the end of my evening, but an awesome evening. I'm really happy with the way I drove, and how it ended up. Unfortunate about race 2, but yeah, that's another league race done. And if you have made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate you. Drop us some comments below about sort of how you found this week's race, and we have a brand new league starting next week, which is called RSE, Racing Series Europe, in the LMP2s. It's going to be really cool, so looking forward to doing some race recaps of those ones as well. Until we meet again, it's bye for now.